welcome to Karma Studies Institute podcast. Today I'm here with my lovely and very beautiful wife, Sharon Fan.
Hello.
And my name is Brian Mendoza, and my wife is from Taiwan, and I'm from Mexico. The intention of this podcast is to share with you a little bit of how is it that we together used karma to find each other, but also how we use it in our daily lives. We together have over 20 years of experience studying and using the ideas of karma that come way back from Siddhartha Gautama. You probably have heard of that beautiful guy that came to this world to teach those great ideas. And then from him, a lot of very cool teachers from the Himalayas came and made a lot of commentaries on what he taught. And basically, the idea of this podcast came from our dear friend Chloe. And hopefully, you're hearing this, Chloe. You gave us the idea or the push to do it. To be honest, we have been thinking about doing something like this for years now. But today we said, let's just do it. Let's just sit down and do it. No formality, no planning and things like that. Let's just make it happen because today is a very special day. Today is our anniversary, and we wanted to make it happen because you want to say why?
Well, because if karma really works the way that we hope that it works, then
That we learn that it works.
right, then the only way to make our marriage sustain, to have more anniversaries coming our way in the future, is to share how it works.
You can use this idea of karma and all the principles around it to basically work on your dream job, your dream partner, your dream family, your dream everything. You can basically create everything. I'm going to give you the technical definition of karma that comes in a book called Abhidharma Kosha, written around the 350 after Christ. This book was written by a great teacher called Vasubandhu, Master Vasubandhu. He describes karma as the movement of the mind and what it motivates. Basically, it means whatever you think of, that's karma. That's creating a karma. But also, what those thoughts motivate, meaning acts or words, are also creating a karma. And that karma is the responsible of creating your reality and your world and the people around you. We are going to learn in detail about all of this throughout the whole podcast episodes that we will have in the long term. Today, just think about karma as the law of cause and effect. As simple as that.
Karma, it may seem like a foreign word for a lot of us, but then we have all heard phrases like what goes around comes around. That is basically the definition of karma. And also, karma is a bitch. So let me ask Brian, why is it that people will say karma is a bitch?
People think that karma is just something that you get back when you misbehave. So that's why people say, oh, karma is a bitch. There's a consequence of whatever you do to people. And then if you are a bitch, then your karma will be a bitch with you. It's perfectly ruthless, just, but also
It is fair. It's the ultimate fair in the universe, meaning it's a perfect reflection of what we did, thought, or spoke in the past. Okay? So for some people, they are very nice people, but then we all have done something in the past. Okay? And karma multiplies. That's why we call karma seeds, because they behave like seeds in nature. Okay, you can imagine how a tiny seed can grow into a huge tree, or two cells from a man and a woman can grow into a baby. All right, so whatever that we did, thought, or spoke in the past, multiply who knows how many times. But don't worry, if you did good, you are also going to enjoy a much better result in the future.
That's an important thing to keep in mind. In the modern world, people just think of karma as the consequence of any bad thing that you do. But the truth is that karma is actually also related to the good things that we do for others. And that is actually one of the good things about karma, one of the blessings that we have. Because, as my beautiful wife said, karma is completely fair. So if you're a bitch, karma will be a bitch. But if you're a lovely person with the rest, then karma will be lovely with yourself. Now, in honor to our anniversary, we wanted to talk about how is it that we used karma to get married, right? So you want to start, or you want to ask me a question, or how do you want to handle this?
I want to start by asking.
Oh my God.
That will determine how I'm going to respond to the same question.
What?
Karma will ripen,
Oh my
right?
God.
So my question is, you knew about karma way before we got married. When you had the idea of finding a partner or even to get married, what was the first thing that you tried karmically, and why? To get a partner, normally people would think about going to those online dating websites or going to
I
clubs.
tried that.
You tried them? They worked out?
Dating.
I didn't know
The
that.
dating app. You didn't know that. No, you didn't know that.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm not that appealing to attract people through an app, so
That didn't work out.
that didn't work out.
Thankfully. Otherwise, you wouldn't have tried karma.
That's true. Well, we just said it, right? Karma is fair. And that also means that whatever you want to see in your life, you have to give it to someone else. You cannot expect to get a watermelon out of a lemon seed, right? So we learned from our teacher that you have to think in terms of what is the result that you want to get. And of course, the result that I wanted was someone to share my life with, someone to be with, and someone that loved me as much as I loved them, and that I could be with them. When you think in terms of all these ideas that I just shared, then I think that one word that can come to your mind is companionship, you know? So I felt lonely. So what I did was to keep company to someone else. We call it correlations, right?
That's an important law of karma.
That's an important law of karma.
Same makes same. If you want something, do the same thing for others. Help others get the same thing
Correct.
to make the karma.
So myself, what I did is that I kept company not to someone, but to someone's. And those someones were my dogs.
That works too.
That also works, but it also has to do a lot with your intention and your state of mind. And that's the kind of skills that we will be teaching you throughout the podcast, because it's not as simple as it may seem. You know, two people can be doing the exact same thing and they could get completely different results, because and this is tip number one that you have to remember forever. 90% of the power of karma comes from your motivation and your intention. And my motivation to keep company to my dogs was very strong, because I was very aware of how much they suffered when we left them alone. So I used what we call the karmic boosting system, that consists of 4 steps, 4 stages that we're going to share with you in another episode. And then after keeping company to those guys, I found a very interesting person that wrote a message to me out of nowhere asking me about a Mexican bread that we don't have in Mexico. And then, yeah, the rest is history, as they say. What about you?
Well, thank you for your sharing, Brian, including the parts that I didn't know of. Well, personally, I wasn't into marriage. I didn't even want to get married before I met Brian. After going through some relationship hardships, like breakups and then all the fights, I grew tired of them, and I decided, well, I just don't want to be lonely. I just don't want to feel lonely anymore. I don't have to be with anybody. I was perfectly happy with the way I was. I had my family, I had my dog, and I had my job. So I was fine. I didn't want a partner. But another key about karma is that it runs out.
Mm-hmm.
It runs out in our life. Whatever that we enjoy or whatever that we hate in our lives, if they are dependent on karma or on seeds, then as soon as they run out, then we run out of the experience. So in order to not feel lonely, even without a partner, then we have to keep somebody company, to keep creating the same karma, to not feel lonely in the future.
And you said something. Seeds or karma run out.
Mm-hmm.
It's exactly like seeds in nature.
Right.
Like you have a seed, the seed sprouts, it creates a tree or a plant or whatever, and then
The
the
seed
plant
died.
dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, the seed dies and the plant dies,
Mm-hmm.
and then you find yourself out of plants, unless
Unless we replant.
exactly unless that plant creates more seeds that creates more plants.
Right.
I'm sorry, keep going. But I thought it was important. Actually, that's one of the principles of karma that we need to keep in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Karma runs out, seeds run out.
Right. So it's really not about having a partner or having a marriage that makes us feel accompanied. So if it is companionship that we want, we have to keep planting it, whether you want to have a partner or not. So with that intention, I went to the nursing home to find lonely people. It's really easy to find a lot of lonely people there. And after a few visits, actually after the very first visit, I decided, well, it's not about me. It's really not about me not wanting to feel lonely in the future. This is a place that I just have to be there. There are too many lonely people. They are way more lonely than I imagined. So after the very first visit, I decided that I just had to come. I just had to come every week to keep them company. And after that time, I just forgot about myself. But then the way that karma works, another point is that whether you know or not, it works like gravity. It's working all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like Brian was saying, the movement of the mind is how karma is defined. So with that motivation, I have to keep them company. Then, even without the intention of planting someone to keep me company, I was actually planting Brian, who would fly from Mexico all the way to Taiwan to keep me company. So that's how karma worked to create my husband and to bring him all the way to me across the world.
That's nice.
Mm.
Then, one important thing to keep in mind is the way that you use karma. We already said it has a lot of subtle parts to keep in mind, and one of them, got it. I'm giving a lot of Very good advices in this podcast, um, in this episode that you should learn later. But I don't want you to go without this one, which is you gotta enjoy it. You gotta enjoy the process, and you gotta enjoy the things that you are doing when creating the karma that will bring about the results that you want in your life. So that's something important to keep in mind. You gotta enjoy the process because that's actually the way that we make karma grow faster.
And even the result in the process, yes, we enjoy it, and also in the results as well, because we are reaping what we planted in the past. Which is easy when we get good results, right? But then how do we enjoy bad results? For example, sickness or losing our loved ones.
Right.
Well, I think an important thing to note is that what goes around comes around. Again, that principle. And seeds run out. So, of course, we have to experience harsh feelings if we planted such in the past. But then they run out. They would run out as we are using them up as in the experience. So knowing that we are now using them up, and every second is an opportunity to plant new karma for our coming future, I think that can help us find peace and not fight with what is happening. Because, to be honest, I'm sorry to say this, it's useless to fight with what is happening now. Like a growing tree, we cannot push it back to seeds. We cannot pretend that the tree is not there. So when we are in the middle of a hardship, face it with the understanding of karma really helps us find more peace.
Face it with the understanding that the tree that is in front of you right now, making you feel sad or angry or whatever, is going to die. And then in the process, you plant, I don't know, a beautiful flower instead of that ugly tree in front of you. That's very important.
Right. And that's not easy. To be honest, it's really not easy. I myself experienced something really difficult now. As Brian knows, that my dog is sick right now, and that really concerns me. But then, in addition to just taking in the way things are right now, I'm still hopeful because of my experiments with seeds and my understanding of seeds. I'm not sure how things will go in the future, but whatever it is, I embrace it. It's coming from me. And if I really embrace the fact that this is coming from me,
What does it mean coming from you?
I planted them.
Okay.
Yeah, like we were saying in the definition of karma, it's created through my past thought, word, or action. Then I think the right attitude of facing whatever that is happening right now, however hard it is to feel empowered. So we taking what is happening now and we feel empowered to redirect our future. So I think, like Brian was saying, very importantly is to note that 90% of the power of karma lies in our motivation. So think about what it is that you want and why. Why is it that you want it? Okay, that I think defines motivation. It's the reason. So that will be our punchline for the day.
Definitely. I think this kind of marks the end of this episode. I just want to say we want to make this something that adds value to your life. For that to happen, we would need you to ask questions. But mainly the idea is that we add value. If you have questions about karma, if you have questions about how we personally use it to work on certain challenges or something, don't hesitate to ask. And we will be sharing this for free, happily, for as long as we can. And remember, this is Karma Studies Institute podcast. So just find us like that in most of the podcasting platforms there are. And you can also go to our website, karmastudiesinstitute.com. Just enjoy what we have for you. We also have another podcast host in Spanish by me. Yeah, we have a lot of free content that you can enjoy.
One more thing that I would like to mention is that everything that we share, we didn't make up any of it. It's either from our direct experience or our experiments using the laws of karma, or we get the ideas from very credible source that we learn from our teachers. So all of our sharing is authentic. So this is credible, something that you can trust to give it a try.
My position is don't trust us. Every single word that we say here, you can track back to the real ancient books written a long time ago by people that is much more proficient than me, maybe not than Sharon. So you don't have to trust us. You can just, she said it, you try yourself, and that's how you prove it's real. But also, if you really think, oh, you know what, this asshole Brian, I don't believe him a single word, that's okay. I don't get offended. Just go and find the book yourself. Like, for example, today we mentioned the Abhidharma Kosha, right? You can find what we share with you in that book. You can go to asianlegacylibrary.org, and those guys are actually, it's led by one of our teachers called John Brady. And he's the director, and he's doing an amazing job. He's like Indiana Jones, going around the world tracking these books in Mongolia, Russia, India, and he goes to those libraries, he finds the books, and then he scans the books and then input in a searchable way those books, so everyone for free can just find the books and read them. Now, you gotta be proficient in Tibetan and in Sanskrit if you want to really read those books. But our another teacher, who is actually the founder of that one and many other organizations, is translating these books into English. So you can find the source in English too. So the point is, we're not making any of this up. It's all there. It's all in the books. So just try, okay? Don't believe us. Try.
Be curious.
Be curious, yeah. And keep listening. I mean, you can insult us if you want, but keep listening. Maybe you get a good idea out of this.
Well, when you are insulting, by the way, think about karma. That's
Yeah,
all.
that's the kind of karma you're creating. Anyway, that's pretty much it for today. Thank you for listening. Remember to go to karmastudiesinstitute.com, leave a comment or whatever, and see you next episode. Bye.